Hey everybody, Jay Barrino here, starting a new custom campaign showcase for StarCraft II. This is StarCraft II Redux. We're coming right off of Enslavers Redux. This is totally different, made by different people, different concept of the project. So welcome to Redux. Using this map, you can begin a new playthrough or continue an ongoing one by selecting the appropriate profile. You may return to this map at any time by opening the game menu and clicking the Back to Launcher button. If you're playing Redux offline rather than through the arcade, you may launch the story map directly to continue your last playthrough. We hope you have a great time. Right, so I'm playing this offline. Only 3 maps of this are released right now. I typically like to wait until a project is done. If there was only 1 map of this released, I'd probably hold off, but they did release the first batch of Marsara missions, so there are 3. This is created by Vengeful, Strudel, and Alarak, both Jay Barrino community members, and by that I mean they've submitted to map arenas in the past. Alarak, best known for the Lost Probe maps that have been released. Vengeful Strudel has created the Hercules maps, one of which won, I think it was 3 years ago, won in Map Arena. Many thanks to Lightwing, Dudekey, and Cheek Cheek for their support, feedback, suggestions, and testing. All names that we here at the Jay Barrino community recognize. So let's check this out. All right, so we can make a playthrough. There's the credits. You could check these out. Excuse me. Got some seasonal changes happening here at home, so the seasonal cough is returning. So I guess let's do this. Let's be Jay Barrino. Can I be orange? I'd love to be orange. The most preferred. Most preferred is orange. We'll make blue down here. Second most preferred player color. Dark green. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's acceptable to me. I mean, okay, is this really orange? That looks like a brown to me. Well, okay, there's brown. This is like a light brown. That is not orange. All right, 1 strike for this campaign, okay? Let's get started. Yes, I'd love to start a new campaign. Obviously, these 2 are not available yet. Raid Night, Dawn of Revolution, 0 Hour. Okay, so these are renamed. Very exciting. Let's start a new campaign. So, I should do a brief introduction to what this is. I don't really know. This is the first time I'm opening this. But my understanding is this changes the balance of the game dramatically. I don't know really in what ways. I do know that time to kill has been reduced. They said it's kind of an in-between between StarCraft II and Warcraft 3, so combat will happen a little slower. Other than that, I have no idea what's different here, but apparently it's quite dramatic. So I'm looking forward to that. Feel free to explore and talk with other characters by right-clicking on them while your hero is selected. When you're ready, step onto the beacon to begin the next mission. So it seems like this is going to take the place of the Hyperion or Joey Ray's Bar or wherever, you know, the intermission briefings take place. We could also maybe put Vengeful Strudel and Alarak in contact with Grant's community because they are creating mods that get injected straight into the client such that you can play them through the campaign in-game as it exists. So, like, you can still go around the Hyperion, but then when you enter a mission, it's changed. I'm not sure how much freedom that allows for. Rise and shine, Commander. We thought you were going to sleep this one out. And let you boys have all the fun? I take it that everyone's prepped and good to go, then. Mm-hmm. Show the boss some enthusiasm, rookie. Sir, yes, sir. Huh. Glad to see spirits are high. Let's show the Dominion that we're back in business. Okay. I see. Right-click a character with your hero selected to talk to them. Step on the beacon to begin your next mission. Hello, sir. Let us speak together. There'll be more Dominion patrols at night, but there'll also be less locals running about. That makes life nice and simple. You see someone? Shoot them. Okay.
Time to man up.
Ain't got no time for standing around. Ain't got time for standing around. The Dominion scum won't even know what hit them.
Sounds like a plan.
Sir, it's an honor to speak with you, sir. Does this guy have more to say? There's like a cooldown for how frequently you could talk to people. The Dominion's blasting the locals with propaganda day and night. I sure hope none of them fell for it. Okay. All right. I feel like the edges of the map, you like make this in like a canyon or something, so it's not just like eerily flat on the outskirts.
Time to man up. Sounds like a plan.
Yawn, so sleepy.
Raiders roll.
Is that Rainer walking? Do you hear him? Don't worry, boss. I'll have our base up and running before dawn.
Sounds like a plan.
Listen to those footsteps. He's on sand.
Raiders roll.
I saw a hydralisk lurking about.
You can count on me.
Okay, don't worry about it, buddy. Things are going to be fine.
Time to man up.
I don't know if we need to talk to literally everybody. Targets, ground and air. Good versus low armor targets. Weak versus high armor targets. And single target damage. Leader of Rainer's Raiders, a charismatic leader and excellent combatant. Interesting. So it actually... Every unit is going to have a good versus weak versus. I mean, it is like that in the original game too, but I assume that's going to be heavily modified in some way. Power fantasy. Recommended for RTS newcomers? No. Recommended for those with experience in RTS and SC2? No. Recommended for experienced SC2 players? Are you up to the task? Perhaps. Recommended for experienced Redux players? This is getting too serious. I mean, I think by default I would pick Brutal, but it says for experienced Redux players, and I don't know anything about how Redux has changed anything. Recommended for very experienced Redux players. What kind of masochist are you? Impossible. You have as much chance of beating this as the SC2 editor does at loading fast. Based. I'm leaning towards hard. I know some people are like, you gotta play on Brutal or Lightwing Mode. Look, I just want to showcase what this mod is about. This is early on, so let's kind of get a sense of how easy or difficult this is. I'd like to learn about it before we dive into the higher difficulties. When you look back, a lot of people say StarCraft II is very easy, and that's because you've played it a bunch of times. The very first time, it's hard. I know it's hard to put yourself back in this period of time, but think back to the very first time you play most games. The first time you play it, and you don't know what is going to be happening, can provide a bit of a challenge. Now it's like, okay, well, I've beaten StarCraft at least 3 times. I can just blast through it on the hardest difficulty, no problem, because you know when the attacks are coming, you know what the tech allows you to do, etc., etc. Anyway, look, all of this is a roundabout way for me to say I'm going to play on hard. It's right in the middle of the difficulties. It's going to be fine. Raid Night. It's been 4 years since the conclusion of the Brood War, the conflict that completely reshaped the power structure of the Kaprulu sector. All belligerents have retreated to their home systems, biding time to regain the strength and power they once held. The Terran Dominion is no exception. Managing to miraculously survive from a total collapse, they once again rule over their worlds with an iron fist. Jim Raynor, a hero of the Great War and Emperor Mengsk's #1 enemy, has shown no signs of life. Until now. Raynor and a small group of his forces, Raynor's Raiders, are about to strike against the logistical heart of the Dominion's forces on Marsara under the cover of the dark of night. Destroy the Dominion Logistics Headquarters. We get basic infantry. Take your time and explore during missions. There are many rewards and secrets waiting to be uncovered. Hover your cursor over bonus objectives to read their potential rewards. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that quite a bit. 4 years after the conclusion of the Brood War. Location, Backwater Station, Ricksville region, Marsara, Fringe Worlds, Dominion Space. I like the way the text scrolls like that. Oh, that's me. Criminal profile match Jay Barino, wanted for theft of Dominion property. Establishing communications with James Raynor. Please stand by. Establishing link and encrypting communications. Finalizing communications. Connection successful. Welcome back, Commander.
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Dominion forces have set up a logistics headquarters in the town of Backwater Station. This has become the hub for all operations on Marsara. The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city, and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk, it'll cripple him on this planet. Prep my ship.
Later that night. So I think, like, Jim Raynor's portrait's lips don't move when he speaks, and I think that's because...
All right, boys. Let's show the locals they don't need to fear the Dominion.
I think that's because some of the... Oh, we're orange. Would you look at that? I think that's because some of the lines aren't taken from in-game dialogue where the portrait already has the synced mouth movements, I think.
Keep your intervals wide, your eyes open, and your asses covered. Let's move. The plan. Who wants some?
6 damage, but they have 80 health. So it's like the health is almost doubled. They do the normal damage. Marines are medium infantry units that form the bread and butter of most Terran armies. They strike a healthy balance between firepower and mobility. Yeah, so that's normal. However, they struggle against armored foes, which is interesting because it doesn't say they do less damage versus armor or they do more versus light or anything like that. Marine addendum. Let's not kid ourselves. You know what Marines are. I know you know what Marines are. Then why did you add a Marine tip, you may ask? Because you'll get one for every unit you unlock. Some units are vastly different from their regular iterations, but Marines are not one such unit. What, did you expect them to raise their shields to block piercing attacks? I suppose I should thank you. You're one of the few people who will likely ever read this message, let alone the Marine tip. Or did you go ahead and read it just now because you felt bad for skipping out on it after reading reading overly lengthy rant? So, don't be sorry, there's no need for that. Just don't complain to me if you skip more tips and don't read tooltips thoroughly. Regardless of what you do, I hope you have a nice day. And I hope you get a lot of enjoyment out of this project. That's a Stealth Toast mission message if I've ever seen one.
Break it down.
Okay. So it just seems like everything has twice as much health. What about armor? No, that's the same.
Talk to me.
Okay, interesting. Well, it said be thorough and look around. Oh, it's a dog.
Sounds like a plan.
So, like, we should be checking, I guess, back in these areas as well, if we can get back there. When it says, like, find secrets and stuff, I don't know realistically what we're looking for to find secrets. But I suppose we'll find out.
Stay away. Don't go up that road.
Why? What's waiting for us?
Careful, there's a curfew in effect.
Dominion's got these folks terrified.
Okay.
Sell me.
So it's just like different voice lines that must have existed in the editor but were never used? You know what I mean?
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
That's Raynor, most wanted man in the Dominion. Raynor, kill him.
You can count on me. What's
Okay,
the plan?
let's see if we can lure him back, and we're gonna want to focus fire, I think.
Sell me.
Yeah, time to kill is much longer.
What's up? Talk to me.
We can tank with Raynor for a while, but like already our units are pretty low just from fighting like 3 or 4 guys.
Break it down. Raiders roll.
Take and go away. Ugh, I shouldn't have eaten those hot dogs. Are hot dogs known for giving indigestion? Secret outhouse has been found. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
So I guess that just means what? Like we can't mouse over that. So I guess it's just like look for stuff that's slightly out of the way.
Time to man up.
Why's that guy got low HP? What happened?
Count on me.
These guys are flashing. I don't like that one bit.
You can count on me. Sounds like a plan. Time to man up. You can count on me.
What happened to these guys' health?
Keep a close watch on your neighbors. Descent will only slow our progress.
I'm getting mighty tired of seeing Meng's face.
Blast it.
Commander, destroying the Dominion holoboards will help incite rebellion against the Dominion.
Oh, hey, look at that. So it reduces our damage and increases the enemy damage. Propaganda machines improve the attack speed, movement speed, and healing rate of nearby Dominion forces, while conversely reducing your force's damage and healing rate. Take care when engaging battles near a propaganda holoboard, not only due to how they influence combat, but also due to the fact that they don't ever shut up. I kind of like a lot of there's like a bunch of tongue-in-cheek related stuff. Oh, hello. Okay. Man, the combat being slow like this is interesting. The Dominion has detected your presence and will now deploy kill teams near your location once they spot you. Be mindful when rescuing rebel groups and destroying holoboards. They might find you. Due to manpower limitations and bureaucratic budget cuts, the number of kill teams they can field is limited, and as such, they will not deploy one willy-nilly every time one of their soldiers spots you. How convenient. The Dominion floods the outer colonies with propaganda, instilling fear upon the populace. Destroying these signs of Dominion power will incite the people to rebel. The Dominion presence on Marsara will weaken on the next mission as a reward. Okay, that's cool. I really like the idea of... Oh, wait, we got another secret outhouse? No? Okay, nobody in there.
You can count on me.
Stay back, you bastards. I've got a flare gun, and I'm not afraid to use it. Huh? Raynor? Oh, she does have a flare gun. What a sight for sore eyes. I'm coming along. Just be careful where you point that flare gun. There's more people who rose up against the Dominion, but they've all gone into hiding. Then we should look for them. I reckon they must have a few things to say to our mutual friends. So healing is much slower, it seems like.
Where does it hurt?
I like how it gives a healing and energy cost rate. Like they're separate in that way. Can heal units inside of bunkers. I think that's normal, right? Make contact with rebel groups. Pockets of rebels are spread throughout the town or backwater station. They are spread far too thin to launch an effective counterattack against the Dominion on their own. Find them and they will surely join your cause. Rescued rebels will join your cause. Rebels that survive this mission will carry over to the next one.
Break it down.
Interesting. Again, even just for being mission 1, this is interesting. I want to come back here because I noticed that building is marked in
What's the
pink.
plan?
I wonder if that
Charge it.
is part of this? I don't know. So we can tank with Raynor because we have a healer. Revealing it in any invisible enemies within. The flare also blinds non-burrowed enemies inside the area, suppressing their detection capabilities and reducing sight and attack range. Max charges too. So is this on cooldown where we'll get charges back again? Part of me wants to destroy this just because I'm curious, but I feel kind of bad because those people walked in there. Let's see what happens. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, dog. I didn't mean it. Oh. You pissed off the civilians and the rebels. Congrats. Okay, so let's not destroy that. So we can just outright fail the optional objectives by doing stupid stuff like that. That, you know, again, it's the first mission. I just want to take some time. It says explore, so let's see what we've got. What we've got for us. I feel like healing in general is going to be super powerful in this mod where, again, combat is much slower. Healing will be slower, but being able to heal out of combat is going to be really important.
Where is everyone? Sounds like a plan.
I mean, even just that first set of combat is different. It was like slightly difficult in that way. Now I feel like I gotta like mouse over everything and check everything.
My neighbors.
My family.
Get a med pack and help this man. What happened here? Tell me. Damn it, he's gone. This is starting to look ugly. Raiders roll.
I feel like this must have all been unused dialogue from the original game. Let's quick save because this part can always be a little spooky.
Commander, a large Dominion
body pull
force is
these.
gathering in the center of town.
Then it's time to call in that special delivery we talked about. All right. Reinforcements.
No, well, we lost 2. We lost 3. That was terrible. My God, I've lost the touch. I'm terrible at this game now. So I think we pull the first group, and then when our drop pods land, we just run backwards with our guys. I'm interested in this whole like units carrying over. I don't know if this counts for our Marines or if that's going to count again with as our rebel groups or what.
Commander, a large Dominion force is gathering in the center of town.
Then it's time to call in that special delivery we talked about.
By the way, we're fighting under the propaganda tower, so I'm going to back these guys up. And as long as Raynor is tanking, we're fine. Again, it's because of the hollow board, so that we had to consider how we take these engagements differently. So, like, I think we have enough units we can fight under the hollow boards. It's okay.
Thanks for the assist. We're with you, Raynor.
Work hard. Stand proud. We must all sacrifice.
Okay, be quiet, and then they're going to get reinforcements. Maybe? Not always, but there they are.
Talk to me. Sounds like a plan.
And there's like different events that happen as well.
Sell me. What's up?
It's interesting because it's not just like flat out tech tree changes.
Jim Raynor.
It's like a variety of little changes. All right, they're still getting buffed, but we're far enough away that we're not getting debuffed.
No sacrifice is too great.
And as we destroy the hollow boards again, it just says that it'll be weakened next mission. What I wonder about is like destroying 3. Will that still weaken? Will that still weaken them next mission? But like it would still weaken them next mission, but not as much. Like you get the max benefit from all of them, or is it all or nothing?
Your freedoms must be protected.
Okay, there's looks like at least one is still getting the benefit, but that's okay.
Count on me.
Have we haven't found any of the rebel groups, right? We don't want to trigger the end of the map until. I know, buddy. I know.
Time to man up. This is bad. Raiders roll.
Okay, get dusted.
Sounds like a plan.
So by coming up here, doesn't this triggers the next? No, it doesn't. We can free these. I'd like to find the other rebel groups.
Raiders roll.
I assume this is one of them.
Finally, there's the locals.
You'll all be given a meal when you reach the dig site.
My brother went off to the mine last week. He disappeared.
I think a part of it too is just making sure that as many of the civilians live as possible.
We got a runner.
They're shooting civilians. Move in.
Okay, once again, let's just tank with Raynor. He can handle it as long as we're healing him. As long as they're not killing the other civilians.
Raiders roll.
Okay, we're spreading damage, but they only have one medic, so it's okay. So the APC doesn't have a gun on it.
What's up? You can count on me.
So I don't want to move up there. Actually, you know what? Don't destroy the truck
Sounds like a plan.
yet. Let's destroy this. Because when you destroy the truck, it triggers the civilians to move forward.
What's the plan? Sell me.
Never mind, we've done it.
A lot to pay for.
Thank you, Raynor. We knew you wouldn't forget us.
There's more people still being held up ahead.
I'll see to them. Man up.
Okay, again, we haven't gotten credit for finding any civilians, and I wonder if it's just because we haven't been, like, we haven't approached enough we have to go around to the different buildings to see if there's
Break it down.
people inside of them. It doesn't seem like we can mouse over anything.
You can count on me. Time to man up.
You know what I mean? Like, this is where I would have... Oh, look at this.
Time to man up.
Raynor came to our rescue? Well, that makes me feel mighty special. A bombardier? Feel free to join us, fellas. We're going to pay the Dominion a vision. Oh! Ah! 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 Oh, my God! Man, I love this. I love getting path blocked in here. I love getting path blocked in this tiny little thing. All right, well, fire bats are super cracked. Give me a moment. Holy cow, the fire bats. I mean, it's a dream. It's the dream. I love fire bats. So this seems like we can actually be making a good amount of them in the future. So we just want Jim to be back here because he doesn't have a light tag. Raynor came to our rescue. Well, that makes me feel mighty special.
Where does it hurt? Not a problem.
Okay, my goodness, look at that. Good thing we brought some gifts for them. This dude's roasting Jim. He just does 6 damage straight up and has a huge range as well. So now we have bombardiers. Let's just kind of hang out and get healed. So, man, like, this is, like, really nestled in here, isn't it? There might be more back there, too. Bombardiers. Siege infantry that lobs grenades and mortars at their foes from long distances. These explosives deal splash damage and excel against armored targets, but cannot be used at short range and are inaccurate. Bombardier attacks pierce through garrisons and damage enemy units inside of them. Garrisons. So not bunkers. Well, in theory, bunkers would be a garrison. They have the launch javelin missile ability, which deals high single-target damage to an enemy after a brief aiming period. Okay, well, let's hotkey those. Marines don't have any special abilities, right? So, they have the grenade launcher, minimum range of 2, and then there's the Tank Buster mortar launcher, which have a higher minimum range. The Bombardier swaps his grenade launcher for his mortar launcher, increasing his attack range and splash damage radius, as well as providing a bonus damage versus armored structures, at the cost of reducing attack speed and accuracy. Wow. So there's a huge attack speed penalty. Does plus 20 damage versus armored and structures.
Talk to me.
Holy crap. Okay, so yeah, it's like siege infantry. I wanted to come back here to see. It seems like we have to be very, very particular with, like, where can we fit our units through to find other stuff. And sometimes that might mean just right-clicking into the fog and seeing if our units can make it through. By the way, quick save. See, like, it kind of looks like there might be something back here.
Raiders roll.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
This is, these secrets are, like, super duper nestled in here.
What's the plan?
Here we
Count
go.
on me.
Raynor, what are you doing here? Hand of Justice. Heard you guys were having a barbecue here. Ha, we're too bruised to join you, but you could take our supplies. Give the Dominion an ass-kicking for us, will ya? Acquired level 1 mission. Oh, a weapons upgrade. This upgrade will carry over to the next mission. That's cool. And then it's just, there's just this typical militia. I like that. Again, this is really interesting. Kind of looks like we might be able to get up here, too.
Raiders roll.
No, I don't think so. Again, this is just mission 1, and like the amount of stuff that we can find and do in here is really neat. I think I'm just going to stick with hard difficulty for now, because again, there's so many changes. Man, like, you got to be really, really diligent looking for potential places that secrets could be. It's actually
You can count on me.
wild how hidden some of this stuff could end up being. Now again, we don't want to accidentally trigger the civilians to move to the end,
Break it down.
because we want to try and keep them alive, because that might count as one of the
What's the plan?
rebel groups to contact. I don't know.
Count on me. Time to man up.
So let's progress and see if maybe the last
Minsk has a lot to pay for.
group to save is in here.
We knew you wouldn't forget us.
There's more people still being held up ahead.
I'll see to them.
Marshal Rayner. Been a while since we saw you around here.
Like a plan.
Listen up.
Sell
It's
me.
time you all stood up for yourselves.
Raiders roll. You're not taking down that base.
Can we blind them?
We're with you, Raiders!
Oh my gosh, these fire bats are insane.
Insurgents are under arrest.
I don't think I'll let you arrest me today, officer.
We got your back, Rainer.
Get back in your houses. Screw the Dominion.
So obviously I'd like to find the other rebel group before we
Sell me.
win. And they're about to win. Okay, so let's load. Again, we don't want to force this to progress just yet. It looks like if we go through where we found the bombardiers, we can clear out the enemy base before we trigger the civilians, which might allow us to look for the last group, right? So rather than destroying that, let's come back up this way and go through here, because it looks like we can go through this ramp, and the last group to save might be kind of in this general vicinity. I'm not so sure. The fact that we have to do some weird finagling like that is wild. Dude, fire bats are actually insane, by the way. I'm looking forward to being able to make them myself, but fighting against them, like one fire bat is able to kill all of this stuff. I think we just need our bombardiers to be able to focus them down. Right, so we can sneak in here and destroy this.
Talk to me. Raiders roll.
This is a restricted area. You insurgents are under arrest.
I don't think I'll let you arrest me today, officer. You can count on me.
It's possible a big part of what happened was because we were fighting under the propaganda board? No, I don't think so.
Raiders roll.
I don't think that's what was happening. Where did those Marines end up going? Over there. Okay.
Break it down.
Again, we can just steadily wipe this out. As long as we don't trigger the civilians, we can destroy all this stuff. So I think what we want to do is clump up over here and have Jim. So let's flare this.
Must be an emergency.
Switch to mortars. Hit this guy with the high single target damage. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that went. Equip the grenade launcher again. Okay, the fire bat is dead.
Talk to me.
The fact that we have to be this particular
Raiders roll.
scares me.
Like a plan.
Now, I mean, on the other hand, these mortar teams seem really good too. So again, there's a few different.
What's the plan?
So let's switch to the long range ones. Yeah, we could just completely outrange the Viking. Yeah, it doesn't always hit though. All right. Switch back. Now, where might the
What's up?
other rebel group be? The final one.
Sell me. Break it down. Sounds like a plan.
Maybe back here. I bet it's in here.
Time to man up. What's the
Gotta be
plan?
careful we don't accidentally trigger the civilians, though. Quick save.
Time to man up.
This is looking promising.
Sounds like a plan. Time to man up.
This is looking promising. All right, get in there.
Please state the nature
Can we
of your
blind them?
medical emergency.
Guardians.
Talk to me. Raiders roll.
Thanks for the assist, Raider. We're with you.
Been waiting on you.
Oh my gosh, the amount of options here it's overwhelming. My goodness, Guardians. They're heavy infantry units that sport higher durability than their marine peers. They can deploy to gain increased damage range and armor at the cost of losing the ability to move until undeploy. So this is like Red Alert 2 guys that you can put in the little well, I guess the Red Alert 3. No, just the Command and Conquer. Tiberium Wars guys can do that too. Deploys the Sentinel heavy rifle, gaining increased attack range, speed, and armor, but losing the ability to move. 33% attack speed bonus. Decent for defense. They have combat shields. Yeah, they go in the little sandbags there. That's neat. They can deploy and undeploy really fast.
Count on me. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, well, let's come back here, and we can let our civilians out, because they are free to just go and clean up the base. We've done all the bonus objectives, and it's going to make everything in Mission 2 a little bit easier. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, don't kill the civilians! I was going to say, friendly fire is going to be an issue with the bombardiers.
Has a lot to pay for.
Thank you, Raynor. We knew you wouldn't forget us.
There's more people still being held up ahead.
I'll see to them.
Right.
Marshal Raynor.
Now they're slow, though. Look how slow these guys are.
Listen up. You can count on me. It's time you all stood up for yourselves. Now I'm taking down that base. You're all welcome to join me. We're with you, Raiders!
You said it, Raynor. I wanted to listen to his inspiring speech again. All right, let's move on in. Hit it. All of you, turn on your little, get in your little sandbags. Oh, they're still out of range. Okay.
That's fine.
Get in your little sandbags. Never mind, it's already destroyed.
Been waiting on you.
I didn't think we could fight them, but we can.
Now you've got the weapons and the resources to do it. Remember, Minx can only control you if you let him.
A nice little victory screen. You love to see it. General stats, miscellaneous stats, mission stats. Secrets found 1 of 4. How many? What? The raid on Backwater Station was a success. The Dominion's logistics headquarters lies in ruins, and the people of Marsara are in a state of open revolt against their oppressors. So one of the secrets was the outhouse. The question is, I assume the secrets don't count towards anything gameplay related. They're just secrets. Versus the bonus objectives, which were very much still secrets. Like the rescuing the people was definitely secrets. Scary stuff. My goodness, this is pretty hard. I mean, the gameplay is vastly different. Vastly different. Specifically, those fire bats are crazy. Like, it seems like we want to be a lot more meticulous, which is going to be scary when we move into missions where there are time limits in the future. Now, in this first Marsara mission pack, that's not going to be the case. Anyway, I'm impressed. This is cool. I really, really enjoy the inclusion of rewards for exploring. Very, very important to me, and I think that just adds a lot to these maps. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll learn more about the balance as we continue. So I was curious. I just kept looking for the secrets because I just wanted to know. So the first one, if you walked past the civilians that we saved where the Guardians were, you could go through this tunnel, and it brings you out back here, back at the very beginning prior to the broken bridge. And then there's just like a crate of oranges. And Raynor was like, oh, look, oranges. Literally, he's just like, I wanted oranges. Then, there's a secret Tauran Space Marine. So this did have a big effect on gameplay, which would have made things a lot easier. I killed the cow. That was near the beginning of the map. So that's 3 of 4 secrets. And then the last one, I think, has got to be back here, because I found this. So let's bring Raynor back here and see what's back behind the logistics center, because there's this huge thing behind the actual objective, which has to be the last secret. Now, this wouldn't matter for gameplay, I imagine, because if you made it this far, aw, it's the lost probe. Bah, this pathetic dirt world has nothing of value. To think that a Zelnaga artifact would reside in such a barren wasteland. Foolishness! You'll pay dearly for this misinformation, 683. And he's gone. Okay. You love to see it. And there we go. There's the 4 out of 4 secrets found. So yeah, I'm not going to prioritize secrets in the future, but just kind of an interesting thing. Well, hey, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.